And
It should not be.
so we'll be doing the objective two. Any questions regarding to
It's an indictment.
um regarding to the assignment so far?
Even like this is a third book, but still like you take a look at education, it's like I don't know. It's a big yeah.
Any
I'm not saying,
question?
like, it'll be like
All right, so I also checked the data sorry,
we do
the objective grades, and then Manage haven't really finished objective one, so it's ways overdue. I know it's due on September 10th, which is tomorrow, but like I said, we haven't finished it. You won't be able to finish objective two because there are so many different topics. So I
yeah.
would say we have finished like most of the questions.
No good
And
I say
so let me just continue on that real quick for this. So and let's see what it is for that part.
They called it a gatekeeper course. They're like, oh, they.
All right. I just want to do the final summary because, like I said, the final summary would be on the exams. Um,
But then a lot of the comments.
so we're gonna get like five different data sets point over here. Okay, so just want to.
It's really not a reaching court, like a reach court. This is quite literally.
Um, I can't copy and paste for some reason, so let me just do that again. So copy that.
Sets of questions from the homework, and they're not trick questions. There's one on the first
then-
exam that says find the absolute value of like -36, and that's where this is the full 6
Yeah,
points.
that's the question.
And then let me just paste that real quick. It doesn't work for some reason. Let me double check this.
Yeah, but I'm like, they're kind of spoon fed. Like the questions, the exam questions are really not strict for anything.
No, they're not meant to be, right? Yeah. It's I quickly gave a look to the exam one. Yeah, like it does not really.
All right, it just doesn't work that.
Yeah, a lot of people were calling out POP, and they were like, bro, like, come on. So, like, if you can't do
Sometimes
that.
love it when they call them so like I it's really funny
Yeah.
when in Reddit posts like some like I always say it would be it might be asshole posts where it's like someone will proceed to describe the most toxic possible behavior ever.
Yeah.
But I had this morning I teach the other section I teach is pre-calc. Pre-calc is fun because like it can be well it's a little more I can get a little bit more with the excuse that I can tell them it's 12 like 50. So with the excuse that you all will be taking calculus, so you should really know this. I can kind of like digress on other stuff for a second.
The big issue that when I'm trying to explain something, I sometimes want to use the vocab.
Hold on a second. So my laptop function somehow doesn't work, and I will try to fix that real quick. Okay, so sorry about this.
Oh, I met her, yeah.
Yeah, she's super nice. She's from Humboldt. Yeah.
Is it what?
She teaches. She's a tenor chart professor.
Okay.
Yeah, I got her PhD in using Santa Barbara, right?
Or Santa Cruz. Maybe.
That was my bad. Yeah.
Oh, I think it was Maggie that I spoke to.
Maggie's master's of that.
I think she's at the grad.
You know, which Maggie? Is this?
Oh, I'm sorry. You're right. No. She's a first year master's student now. Are you or
Yeah.
first year?
Oh, with that, just a little thing that I have with my
He was
typo. It's
taking real big.
doesn't work. Like, control V. Okay.
Did he tell you about topography? Oh, it's so easy. I know it's topology. Yeah. I say that.
All right. So we're gonna find the final summary in this case. So we're gonna look for the two numbers. Um, so we're gonna have like the last two in this case.
It's not. Well, it's nothing like that.
And then so that's gonna be called the Q2.
Because he thinks he has.
So we're gonna add up these two and divide it by two. So you take 46 plus 48.
Mister, we can't see your screen.
Wait.
Oh, you can't see that? Oh, I'm so sorry.
You can-
184.
I do apologize for that for some
It's
reason.
a little-
All right, and then we divide it by 2 in this case. And then we got like 47.
Yeah, it's on.
I was
Oh, you mean your system? Yeah. So so I've learned it. Yeah.
Oh.
Okay.
What I really call.
And then afterwards, we're gonna separate that. So that's the Q2. And then we have to find the Q1. So Q1 is simply the medians,
You tell me it's easy.
the mean numbers
But I wouldn't be able to tell you what that.
between
Subtract 30.
the smallest, right? Between 13
Something like I'm not.
and 46. Okay, so we're gonna take that. So the Q1 in this case will be 40. Okay, so that's the part.
slurred to like.
And then Q3 is basically 51, so that's the same thing. Okay. So remember that the Q2 gonna be called the 25 percentile. So that's one of the things that we should know. And so this is 25 percentile.
Lewis failed me for math one.
And then
Oh, yeah.
Q3 is simply the median between
I was like,
You are
a
an
lot
actress.
ago.
like
I forgot. I am again. I'm
between 48
Right.
and 87.
Yes.
So that one we call the 75 percentile.
Dunkin' chocolate's more bigger. I don't know.
So what is-
Okay, so based on that, we can also look for IQR, which is the interquartile range.
You know, a lot. I've been meeting a lot over the past couple of weeks.
Sure you-
So I'm
Wait,
sorry.
it's my name.
Chelsea. No, I remember that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
okay.
No, I'm not.
I know you're-
I'm not that bad. Like I'm not the kind of.
Yeah,
person
so-
who forget it.
And then afterwards, we're gonna take Q3 minus Q1.
It's a lot of people.
So that's 51 minus 40 equal to
It's easy to be.
11.
Well,
And then-
you don't-
Yeah. And then observe that we're going to and then after that we're gonna set up the fence, which is Q1 minus 1.5 times the IQR.
I think you have him in one of your classes. You have him in 1 and 2, right?
So we have like 40 plus minus 1.5 times
I'm also in
times 11. So we can set up a fence based on that. Oh yes, absolutely. So we can set up the IQR, we can set up the lower and then the upper boundary based on the Q1 and IQR. And then so that's how we actually answer this question. And then we can also identify the outlier. Most likely based on the questions that we have will be the first or the last data sets. Okay, so you have to see how much those two data set deviates from the fence. Okay, and then from the data set on the second, and then the data before the last one, so we can see if that's mattered. And then when we set up the fence, and we can determine what it is. So we take like 40 minus
like, oh, you guys already know this, and
like 16.5, and then it's gonna give us 23.5. So make sure we're gonna do this on a calculator.
like just
The Alex always give us the calculator, so we're making sure we're gonna use that. And we can also use your calculator if you have one. That's perfectly all right. It doesn't matter if you use the outside calculators, I would say it's perfectly all right. So take 40 minus 1.5 times,
what you're saying is
11,
it's not the what
and then we got 23.5. So that's the yeah.
I really didn't like that.
So that's the lower fence, right?
I mean, I'm gonna go to class, but I'm not going to expect to understand the material.
I'm going to be eventually excited for one of those.
So we're gonna do the same thing for the upper fence, where
Knowledge for the class.
We can take Q3 plus
I don't know. Do I
No
do
idea. I was that guy. I saw, like, I saw.
1.5 times the IQR.
Before class. That's like, just like, exactly.
So we're gonna take 51 plus 1.5 times 11 is 12. So we're gonna set them up. So we should get like 51 plus 1.5 plus 16.5. So
No, that's not him.
the upper fence that we have should be 66, 67.5. Right? We can also do this on the calculator. So once we identify them, so apparently 13 and 87 are not
Oh my God, is the
in the
map-
belt, right? In the boundary, in the fence, right? It's out of the fence. So we can literally check that they are the outliers.
I met him at orientation. Like at the.
So we can claim that so 13 and 87 the outliers.
Loss.
So
I don't know if you know.
are we good?
He's a former stats.
We don't know that.
Oh, you don't. Okay.
I don't know.
So yeah. So it is what it is. So let's move up to
Again?
construct the whisker plot. So all we have to do is just plot them. So after
Response to.
It's fine.
after we send them to the calculators, it's always be good to arrange to sort the data set point, and then so based on that we can find the
Doesn't he do the same thing in modern? that
He does participate. Hello.
What's up?
How are you?
Oh, good.
so we're going to copy so we can see the data set point here, but when it comes to the exam I would rather have you guys like put it on the paper so that you don't make any mistakes on it.
These are all copies for just 1 week.
Oh my God.
Oops, not this one, of course. I have to like copy that part.
I'm leaving for my class.
Already.
It was nice meeting you.
You're doing the homework now, right?
I'm doing the worksheet so I don't show up.
Oh, you basically do the same thing, and then we should be able to get like Q1, Q2, and Q3 respectively. And then the after we get those, we're going to put it on the bar. You can just stretch it. So that's gonna be so this one gonna be the Q1s. This one gonna be the smallest value. The smallest value we have is 23. And then the Q1, let's say 32.5, and then the Q2 going to be 36, and then Q3 will be 47, and then the largest data set is 59. So this is what we have for the whisker plots. Are we good? So that's how it is. You will not see this question on the exam, unfortunately, but you just need to know how to do it.
Question you?
Someone did raise it.
Very good. Because sometimes when I see them nothing intention, I did
Uh,
intentionally.
No, I tried
I
to.
couldn't hear you like clearly. So all we have to do is just move the point like from one place to another. So let's say you're gonna move that to like 32 or something like that, or you move this to like 39 once you find the Q1, Q2, and Q3. So this is how we're gonna plot them on the graph. Okay.
We would dis
Yeah.
dissolve and then the intention.
Yeah.
So sometimes.
I'm sorry?
Sometimes they just they see anything or whatever. I said,
No
okay.
problem. So you're gonna get this one a Q1, this one a Q2. We just have to find Q1, Q2, and Q3.
I also.
It is what we have to do. And then Q3.
And my class is at 7:30 and that's early. I had some people get in.
And then we also have the large data sets here, the largest one.
That's not
I would
acceptable.
change them.
I had half a, I had.
And then yeah, it's very straightforward question, I would say. It wouldn't be any problem with this. Finally, that we have the last question. So this question might be on the exam. So let's say we have a like box plot. This is what we call them.
how much effort you're committed to this class.
And then,
So you don't need to answer to.
so apparently that we're going to put it here. And then you need to answer the questions based on the models. So making sure that
That's true.
And you talk about.
you'll be given by a bunch of this. Okay. And then we need to know how to read the data sets.
You will make.
Okay, so now
Easy 4 times wrong.
let's look at this. Which one has a larger median? Which one has a larger Q2? So the median is basically the Q2, okay? So based on that, the Q2 is based on the midpoint, right? The midpoint of the data set, which is this line. And then we do the same thing for CDB. So the Q2 should be around this, right? It's 60, 69. So we can literally check that CDA has a better median, okay, among this.
But it's hard to tell them, first of all, you're not their parents.
That's kind of the.
No, we have to do it like on the exact same time. I will let you know. I'll let you know soon. Okay, just give me a second. We have to take the exam on the exact time, not like after it. I will let you know why, but just let me finish the question first, real quick for that. So the first one that we have is, so 8 has a better medians, right? Obviously, see the 8. And which one has a smaller range? So apparently that 8 also had the smaller range.
See what do they say,
Mhm.
you know, so
Yeah.
you're the first one, let them make the decision, they are the one in the.
Yeah.
So because the range is simply, we just take the large, subtract the small. So the large for A would be 76 minus the small, I would say will be around 66. So that should have a smaller range compared to the CDB. So on the other hand, when you look at the interquartile range, which one has a larger interquartile range? So that would be CDB as well.
Yeah. All the. Oh, yeah.
Are we good? Because B, the interquartile range will be the difference. So, between the Q3 and Q1, correct? We take Q3 minus Q1, you got the interquartile range. So when you subtract that, you can take 77 minus 64. And this one, we can take 74 minus 69. So apparently that CDB has a larger interquartile range. Which one has the highest noon temperature? So B has a high noon temperature as well. It has like 84, right? Apparently. So
You know, you want to work.
are we good?
Never say no.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I explained to them, I said. why?
So DDA has the bigger median because
What about
the median was 72,
no.
and then the A has a smaller range, so the range will be 76 minus 66
So, like,
is 10.
That would not help them. I literally only write down kind of I like to write down kind of.
And the B also has a larger IQRs, so that would be the difference between 78 minus Q2 minus Q1 is 64. So that's will be 14 degrees. All right, so that's pretty much what we have for this question. Are we good?
That it's like. That the art to do in different order or different way and.
All right, so if there's no concern, then we're gonna move on to the exam review questions, right? So first,
I think they need to be told. Sometimes I don't, it's weird because they're in college, you're not their parent. A lot of them are freshmen, so and they don't realize how different it is from these.
Oh, yeah, I had this morning I had one kid that came up to me and just on Zoom.
all right, so the exam must be taken on the same date.
That's week. like, they were, and he was like, I used my, like, I was like, yeah, you can use it.
On the same date?
My laptop.
Okay, so which is
It was like,
on Friday. So that'd be on Friday, September 12th at 10 o'clock until 11:15. Usually gonna have like 1 hours and 50 minutes to complete them.
How would be unlimited?
Yeah, but yeah, literally, like, what, like, it's not like per request, like, I'm not, like.
So second, all student must turn on the must turn on the cams. All student must turn on the cams that points
Spend the time right here.
on the computer or something like you don't necessarily have to be like really precise what it is, right? You don't need to have that point at the table, right? Or anything like that, as long as you have a computer, you have to take the exam. So from the phones that points at a table with the computer, right?
A little bit of.
Um, so we have to use a computer to take the test, and then the phone we have to turn on the Zooms, right? So the exam must be on Zoom, obviously.
Need to on.
Yeah, you know.
So some of them.
Well, so some of them I think are aware that, like, they.
Make sure you're gonna download the locked out browser, the locked out browsers,
They're aware that they are taking
Having
full
a-
advantage of how high school.
which
works,
uh,
is that
prevents
they get
uh,
to
which
have that-
prevents us from
they-
going out, like closing out the browser. So you have to finish it in a single sitting, right? So the exam must be finished,
Due date for recount, for the homework and recount are all like on Friday, so that.
completed, right, in a single sitting. So make sure we're not gonna lock in and lock out. So we're basically gonna lock you off the exam. So make sure you're gonna complete them. So be sure to check the connections, right? Be sure to check the internet connection
And learning a lot.
before taking the test, right?
And
I would prefer people like take. I would prefer people taking the exams on campus on the library. I would prefer like students take the exams in the library, on campus, or in the library. So we don't have the connections being cut up for some reason. So we know that sometime that when you stay home and then your internet connections get overloaded, so it might get disconnected for that reason.
Yeah,
so.
it was, yeah.
Any other question that you ask? So remember that you don't see the results after we're taking a test. We only see the result after the September 21st. The reason behind that because we want to make sure that it's fair for every section of taking Stat 113. So for those students who took the exam earlier, you won't be able to just get the result right away. I mean, the answer key, but the answer key will come out on September 21st. But you're definitely gonna see the grades for that reason. If you have any question, any concern, I can answer your question along the way. So you should be able to use the locked out browsers on September 10. So it's just only a question. It's when you do the exam, it's just simply like one question asking you to I won't give you the password for that, but it's simply very important that we have to take this. It doesn't factor into the grade, but it's gonna instruct you like you have to download the locked out browser using this question that we have on the screen. So that does not require any password for this. Okay.
Well, it's just like, it's like, like, at some point, a lot of it is just kind of like, even if it's not like, even if you don't.
Well, if you don't complete the exam in a given time, then it's gonna expire. Oh yeah, that's a good part. Yeah. For some reason that you show your work, but you got the wrong answers for some reason. I might give out some partial credit for that. I might change the grades, but usually not that much. But make sure you're gonna submit your work. I think it's one of the thing, but you don't have to, right? Just take the exam. There were some questions just like that. Just like this question, like I said, it's just A B C A A, A A B B. So there's no work to be shown. And if you see this question on the exam, don't be surprised. Well, what kind of work should I show on the exam? But if you plan out to show your work, that would be great. I might boost up the grade a little bit. I might modify some of the questions grade that you took, for some reason. Let's say, you know what, I got A on my work, but I accidentally put B on the exam question. So yeah, I think that might work.
Well, like,
Can you do another one of these questions? Hashans, I can't do all of the so most of the questions that's important, most likely gonna be on the test, right? Just like some of the topic that I showed you before. Let's say this question is very important, and this question is not very important. I just literally just show you the answers on the screen. Just have to make a scatter plot for some reason, and then if you go back to the notes, whenever I said the question was very important, meaning that you have a higher chance to see them on a test, most likely, right? Yes, you should download the locked-out browser. So by taking the test tomorrow, this is not a test. Um this is like just the browser just concerned. You just like click on it, and then take one question, maybe how to lock out browser. You have to do this. Just click yes, yes, yes. That's it. And then the exam's gonna be on Friday. Started from. I would definitely gonna enable that so very soon. Um, the time limit would be 1 hour and 15. Um, yeah, it's gonna be the student might take the exams at 10 a.m. Okay. Okay. No tips. All right. It's gonna be 20 questions. Yeah. Just um and then so the reason why we set up the date because like I said, it just no, you cannot retake the exams after that. You're gonna get the results coming soon on 21st. Okay. And then you're gonna get you only have one attempt to get it done on the same day. All right. Okay, so yeah, so we should be able to take the exams on Friday, have to be on Friday. If you need to make up the exams, making sure that we have to go to the testing center, which is located in the third floor. I'll let you know the rooms for those of you who need to make up the test. You can use any kind of calculator, it doesn't matter to me, but there's no problem with me. Like for student who use the calculators on Alex, which is something that I recommend you do.
CSI yesterday.
But if you prefer using different calculator, that's perfectly all right. Okay. Yeah, so this question is a very important question. Well, I mean, yeah, usually the exam should be no notes. But you can't because the camera that you have to point at the table that has the computer. We a lot of people should have like maybe a page of notes, something that you're gonna write them down on a paper, and then okay, so yes, so that's the thing. So you need to complete um the objective 1 and 2 before taking the test, right? The post modules, right? So post module
Yes.
must be completed before taking the exams.
Teaching about,
Okay. Any calculator is allowed, but if you have notes like one page, that I think that should be okay. But like I said, the exam should be no notes because it literally just the question from objective 1 and 2, right? If you the assignment, if you sit on a computer long enough, they have explanation from each question. I don't see any reason that um you get. So let's say you can click on the explanations right here. If you don't understand, they're gonna explain it to you. Like you got 90 data set that have 90, you have 7 students who have 90 points on the test. So it should be fine for that. Um, yeah. Um, the knowledge check is I would try to check it, but please have to take the knowledge check. It's very important, even if it's not gonna factor into your grades. Um, no, the phones, right? The phone when you turn on the webcam, for example, you have to point it, right? You have to point it on your cam, you have to point it to like the tables or cameras, something like that. So it will remind you, like you have to make sure that your camera is working properly. Okay. Where do we find the test? You're definitely gonna see the test on Friday. It's not on Alex yet, by the day that it's set up the exam. So you're not allowed to see them until like Friday at 10 o'clock. So you can start taking the exam until we finish. Like you have an hour and 50 minutes for the test. All right. Well, I will correct you. I will correct you if your camera is not being placed correctly at a certain angle. But usually, as long as I see your computer and then the table without any like technological devices, like some people might use ChatGPT, they copy the question on the screen and get it answered in ChatGPT. It might be wrong, so make sure we don't use it on the test.
yeah.
No, it's not going to be on Brightspace. It's going to be on Alex. Okay, the exam will be on Alex.
Ma per quei professori che se ne frega.
Oh yes. So if you complete remember, if you if you complete all the modules, right, and then the exam would be like 80.85. You, I can guarantee you that, like, on average, if you complete 100% modules and then plus the exams on average like 85, and then the final exam was 75 something, I can guarantee you at least an A minus. Okay. Okay. So which is why I always try to emphasize that the module is super, super important. So if you complete them on time, and then you're gonna get additional 10% from that modules. Yeah, they're gonna be computed at the end of semester by the systems, not by me. Which is why I have my own record that my student not doing too well on the exam, but they do the data days, right? They complete the module 100%. Well, that person got an A minus, easy, right? Plus extra credit, like you have to show up every day, you have the attendance, and then you have to complete the final project that will be 5% added to your final grade. Yes, so we're gonna start like early, like maybe I would be here about like maybe 9:50 or something. right? Would that be good? Like 9:50 and and then we lock on Zoom. Yeah. And then if you cannot if we start like 10:05, so I'll be here until like 11:20, 11:25. I feel like that should be good unless you have another class coming up soon. Then um wait. So the exam must be taken on Alex, right? He's on Alex. Okay. And then are we good? Is that clear from what we're doing so far? And make sure we're going to download the locked out browsers. That's very important, making sure that it's fair for everyone who's taking Stat 113. Um, okay, so not a problem at all. So just ask me a question if you have any of these. All right, so I will try to go over and so I'll be here like a little early for that. If you would like to submit work, I will make the submission available to us. So it's not gonna count to your grade, but I only have 10 people who submit the handshake. So let's say exam one work, right? So you can submit it through it's optional. It's optional. Um, if you submit your work, I will basically go back to the exam and see if you make any syntax error or some typo on the test. If you're not submitting it, that's perfectly all right, but you have to submit it like like in 15 minutes. I don't want students just like write up the questions and then change your answers like for a couple of days and then you submit it on September 25, 25th or something. So the due date should be on Friday. I will give you like 10 minutes to submit your work, maybe 15 minutes. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, so it, it's not a monthly subscription. It's like one-time payment. You have to pay $90 for that for the Alex. Yeah. All right. I still don't see people like asking me any questions regarding um the objective. I'll try to elaborate on it, right? I'll try to elaborate on it. Um, so for the modules, right? And then because usually we're not allowed to like extend it the dates for the objective, but we try to do so. Yeah, if we do that, it's gonna be like they must be the same thing for I can't remove the post knowledge check if you don't want to take it. But like I said, the knowledge check is very important. It's show like how much you understand those questions before we're taking the exam. But if you don't want it, that's perfectly fine. Okay. After Wednesday, yeah, we have like we do have knowledge check. So knowledge check gonna provide us with the questions. Yes, there's a review questions, and we also have some optional videos that you can watch, but it's gonna be a lot of work. You see what I'm saying? Um, Yeah.
And then even post office hours, if English is sick.
I do not have access to the questions because it's just a summary of what we have
Was
learned.
beginning of the, before the semester starts.
Yeah.
No, it will be open until like
Sure.
um
Perfect.
I can give you until Thursday. I would say that's pretty fair. Okay. Same day should be good. All right. Any other question that you have? Yeah, I would make it like until Thursday. So, mhm. So making sure that we finish it. But this is the on time one time extension. Like the first two was kind of challenging, and we're not very used to the Alex system. But like I said, the deadline already set up at the beginning of the semester, so we have to follow through this. I'll be here about like 9:50 or something. So and then we can take the exam at 10 o'clock. So we got 10 minutes to prepare your positions, your chair, like your computer, your login, and all of this right before taking a test. What happened if you don't finish the objective? So if you don't finish the objective, it's perfectly fine, but it's gonna affect your grade so bad. I wouldn't say it's so bad. You can still complete them. You're gonna get like half credit from the incomplete section. So for example, uh we have like 20 topics. I got five left. And then you're gonna get like half point. If you complete them later on, that's perfectly fine. But you're gonna get half point of that missed questions, incomplete questions. Okay. And then yeah, so it is how it works. And then you don't get additional like 10 points added to your final grades like from the Alex. Um, which is why I always encourage, but like I will keep on reminding you guys tonight, tomorrow night, if you have any question, any concern that I can't complete them and then on time because um I don't know how you do this, that. Yeah. So that's not a good reason for this. All right. Any other question that you have? Yes, I do have office hours, so I intentionally give you guys Thursday. Um it's from I'll be here around like 10, but I got things to do until like 11 o'clock until I will be here around 10 o'clock, but just if you come early, just wait for me a little bit, okay, until 12 p.m. I can basically sit longer. Um if you need more help for that, this is very important. Let's say I want to go over the objective questions. I will be here on campus, yes, but please use the Zoom link that I sent out earlier. So that's the office hour that is set up on Thursday and Saturday. Um, but this Saturday that there's no reason to be on Saturday this week because like I said that we already took the exam. Remember, the exam is going to be on Zoom, right? The exam must be taken on Zoom, but I'll be here on campus and on Zoom as well. So if you want to meet in person, that's perfectly fine. If you want to see me on Zoom, that's even fantastic. I want to, I don't know. It's up to you for that reason. Okay, office hour. Uh, all right. So that's the thing.
because I have like a full schedule on Wednesday every week, like Monday, Wednesday, and Tuesday I have like straight. I have straight up in the morning and then at 10 and afterwards I have class until 2 o'clock. Um and then I also have class from 6 to 8 p.m. I don't Can you guys meet at 5 today or something like that? Just lock in Zoom. If I in case I don't remember, just log in Zoom. It's gonna automatically send me a um notification message. And then I knew that you guys joined in Zoom, so I would basically gonna join with you guys. Just be a little patient. Um yeah, 5 p.m. to today, 5 p.m. On Zoom. Yes, have to be on Zoom because I have to go to do stuff right today at 5 p.m. Tuesday. Right, today. Right, Zoom. So so this is on either Zoom campus. Okay, so making sure that uh you have to prepare some questions, okay? You can't just come on Zoom and expect me to ask you the question. No, you have to ask me the questions. I have to just come on Zoom and just say hi. Well, I mean that's fine, but you know, you don't need to. Yeah. You just have to log in Zoom. It's automatically notifying my email address saying, well, somebody joined in Zoom and then have the names on it. And then I will basically, join in Zoom as well. Yeah. Is that good, people? Is that clear? From all the questions that you have? Okay, so uh exams questions are very exam questions, including the final exam, obviously. It's our from Zoom, right? Us from objective 1 and 2. Okay. All right. So I want to quickly going over it. So I quickly going over it, unless like you know, unless we have some question. Yeah. I would say this is a very important question. Like very important. I said very important. You should pay attention to that. Right? So you need to know the population and the sample by reading the questions. So you know that the population had to be all TV, the sample had to be random, followed by the word random, and then population have to go with like parameter, sample have to go with statistics, right? Something that go with statistics, parameter have to be the average price of all people. When I see all, that parameter, when you see random, that's statistics. Okay. Parameters. So we have like whenever you see the word random, this sample and the statistics. Okay. Something like that. Are we good? Yeah. Like average of all whatever it is, right? So that's parameters, obviously. Like proportion of that, that's of all people, that's parameters. Something like that. So random selections, whatever it is, that's statistics, right? Obviously. So I don't think that, you know, that's hard to us. All right. Classify classify the variables also very important things. Um, So you need to know which one is quantitative, which one is categorical, like something that S and above, fair, pool, that's categorical, right? Categorical, that and the distance mile, the quantitative. So it's very straightforward level and so it has some a certain level that's ordinal data set. It also categorical data. We also temperatures, that's quantitative. It's the interval level. You need to know this, right? On the exam. So temp, and this is also the quantitative data. Okay. We also have like 4 types of measurements. We have ordinal data. We have like I'm sorry, we have nominal data set and we have ordinal. So this one is like level, range, something like that. And then we also have interval data set. I would say temperature is one way. And then we
Professor,
also,
you're not sharing your screen.
I'm sorry. Oh,
You're not
share.
sharing your screen.
Oh, I'm not sharing my screen. Something like that. I do have my screen in it right here. Let me just stop share. Okay. Is it better? Can you guys see my screen so far?
Yes.
Okay, I'm sorry. Remember that you don't need to know like too much. Just try to summarize what we have. And then the ratio level is basically the last level, and that's include like numbers, something like that, so on and so forth. And this one's like non-number, non-numerical value, something like this, right? So this one non-numerical value.
Well, you're, so because
Um,
if you're screen recorded.
so it's very important that we know this and yeah, I would say this is very important questions, but I'm not sure if that's going to be on the exam.
Well, do you know what?
So we should know that the gold, silver, bronze is categorical on a level, right? And then temperature is quantitative interval, height is quantitative ratio, all of this, right? Um,
When I do live, there's no.
discrete and continuous. So discrete is something that we can count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, something like that. Continuous is so this is discrete, this is discrete number of insects feeding on a tree leaf, something like that. The time it takes is continuous, right? And then this is the thing that different because we cannot count the time. Something that you cannot count, so that's continuous. The time you cannot count the time because it's going to change instantaneously. So something that changed instantaneously, that's continuous data sets point. I don't think that's mattered to us.
But yeah.
This one is a very important question. I mentioned earlier, correct? It's like, right. So you might have to answer this question on the exams.
If the recording is still like, I feel like even if there's a little bit of a delay, it should still, like, if it's just a little bit. It should be doable, right?
Right. So once you estimate the number of senior who plan to go to the four-year college, answer the following questions. We should know which one is the correct answers based on that. It's senior, right? Estimate number of senior have to be the senior class. Right? So that has to be 8, something like this. And then based on the part 8, we have to find a ratio, something. The it's gonna be 15/25, something. It's 0.6. And then you take 0.6 times 8. and then you can get to the final answers. Okay, it's 510, something like that. So yeah, yeah, it should be very, but this one a very important question whenever you say that. So it's something that we should um classify sample. Yeah, this is also a very important question. You need to know what is the stratified sampling, what is the systematic sampling, what is random sampling. So this is also a very important question. Okay. So um so systematic sampling. It's like followed by K, right? K members is like every 20, like every 5, something like that. And random sampling it usually followed by the keyword probability, like likelihood, right? Seems likelihood, something like that. Okay, followed by the keyword random. And then we also have stratify sampling. It's a group of stratters, right? With different characteristics. And then we have the cluster sampling as well. It's like a group of blocks, something like that. It's geographically different, right? Yeah, so yeah, all of this must be answers, right? And then just understand what it is, and stratify based on the prices, the price. Yeah, you can see that based on prices, something like this. You see a question again, you should be good. And then systematic, like every fifth attendees until 90, right? Every fifth, something like that, every fifth, right? This keywords. And it's the word random. It's obviously every have it equally likely, so equally likely, equal the same likelihood. All right, I think that's pretty much what we have. You can try it many times you want to. Yeah, it's so systematic every four, every equally likely, right? And then 13, select cluster sampling is six customers based on a CD, something like that. Select all the customers based on a CD, something like blocks, difference, right? So on and so forth. So that's what we have for cluster sampling. All right. This question most likely going to be on the exam. So very important question. You should know about the prospective, retrospective, double blind. When we're gonna be called prospective, what is the keyword for that? What is the keyword? How do we know that we have to do like prospective or retrospective? Anyone did that question before? Most likely have to say yes for that. It's and when we're gonna use like complete random minds and the explanatory, what is the explanatory variables? Something that can be explained to us to respond variables, right? And increase the test score. It's also based on a certain keyword that we have to read the question. This is very important. Okay. Um, this is also very important questions. What is confounders and ways to eliminate them in the observational study? You're going to read some of the results and what is the thing that we have to do. Which we have to read the things over here, right? And then when they're trying to set up the double blind, for example, what happened to the confounders? Okay, so and then you can answer those questions carefully. And this is also the bias that we have. Like, do you oppose, are you in favor of the construction of a new high speed, something like that? Which one gonna be correspond to the different types of bias? We have response bias, we have um um confounding bias, we have selection bias, and all of this are very important. Okay. Yeah, this is also a very important question. Like I said, I would say, but this one relatively straightforward, but it's something straightforward might be on a test. All right, so we need to pay attention to um these three. Okay. So there are two types of them. So you're gonna read the questions. You have perspective and retrospective. And this one is most likely going to be complete randomized questions. Yeah, so th those are very important. So you have to be really careful when you read them. I wouldn't say this question going to be on test. That's too much. All right, so let me just is that objective one? That's objective one. Yeah. Let me stop sharing first. Let me just go back to the exam, see if the questions is on. All right. Okay, so yeah, so source of bias is very important. And then the shape. Yeah, this one also very important for that. And then I would prefer people work through that question. And then so which one's gonna be like um which one is symmetric symmetrical? It's like B, something like that. Left scoot to the left, scoot to the left is C something. And then bell shapes also B. Line models is basically having two is eight. So it it's just the thing that we have to look at a chart and see what the answers are. It's, um yeah. Okay, so it's this question also very important. All right, now let's go to 6. Um need to know how to compute a population standard deviations or all of this. Objective 2, we need to know how to compute a population standard deviation, right? Something like that. Yeah. Using a calculator, show you guys before, just go back to the notes, right? And then we need to know topics. The first topic is very important. So it's this one. Yeah, so I think I make that clear that this question is very important. It's I definitely don't see them on the test. This year or last year, right? From the last year, so we have no idea we can claim this year. 8% or more. At least one. Last year, at least one of them exactly. So there's no exactly, something like that. Yeah. And then last year number not equal, right? So it had to be B or C, something. Each one, another one, lost 7 pound average last month. Have to be last month. This one is no. This is not a correct answer. It's lost exactly 7 pounds. Not exactly. We don't like exactly. Not all of them, right? So we can get rid of this, get rid of this, get rid of that. Fewer than half. No. Not some of them, right? Yes, only A is the correct answer. So no, some of them less lost less. No, we don't have clue for that as well. So if they change keywords to last month, some of the patient lost more than 4 pounds. Some of them, at least one of them lost more than 4 pounds, so that makes sense. Less than four, we don't know, right? So this is one of the things, tricky questions. And 2 years, yeah. So we have to read these questions and answer it carefully. 2 years ago, no. Right? Last year, this is coming from last year. Make less than 15%. On average, make 10%. That might make sense to us, right? Something like that. Fewer than half. We have no idea what it is last year. All of them, no. Make it no, not exactly. So it have to be B. Okay, B should be the correct answer. So, yeah, all of this. Yeah, we should know how to answer this question. Also, very important. What is the mean mode? Something like that. This is one of the things that we pay attention to. Okay. So if the data set becomes very consistent, that we're going to uh, use the means. Okay. If a data you're gonna see like something like 24, you got one data set that's go away from it, you're gonna use the median. And the other one just move. So you get the most often. Something like that is very straightforward questions. Like pick on the easy question. All right.
Yeah, how'd you get the median again?
I'm sorry.
How'd you get the median again on C?
No, no. The question was like when we see like some data that has one of them. a data a data set that go go away from go away from the trends, right? From the consistent data set, from the consistency. Then we must use median. Okay. No, this is not how we found it. This is we need to know like which kind of the key statistic that we have to use. For that question, we're going to use median because we've got 24. It's go off the tangents. Like, so it's too far away from 51, 53. So if all the data set consistent, that we just use the average. Okay. All right. That's pretty much it, I think. And then the rest of you need to compute the population standard deviations. And then the IQR, it's also very important. IQR is going to be on the exams, which is Q3 minus Q1, something like that, right? And then set up the fence, we just went over the question. Okay. And then we need to know the mean and the standard deviations of the mean and standard deviation of a tabular um data point. Okay. All right, I will continue on this part. We'll answer more questions during the exam review, either at 5 p.m. today or on Thursday. Okay, during the office hour. If you are good, like you don't necessarily have to worry too much about this, right? And then if you did the question before you completely understand what it is, you see all kind of questions, it should be good. Otherwise, I will continue on the exam review during like 5 p.m. today. It's all during the office hour on Thursday from 10 to 12. Okay, I'm gonna do it on Zoom and then record a video so we can just watch them. Are we good? All right. I feel like that's pretty much it. And let me just take attendance real quick. I'll let you go. I was slightly behind the class. Jasminer. Got you. Malika. Um, here. Annie. Rachel. Selena. Not here. Hashan is you. Saminer. Sarah. Got you. Alexis. Z. Motley. Okay. Jocelyn. I think most of you was here, good 20 people, and then I got 30 students. So, all right, I'm gonna mark all of you present. Um, all right, I will see you hopefully today at 5 p.m. I might be a little tired because I have another class at 6 o'clock, but I will try my best to give you another like more thorough reviews, and then I want to shoot out a video for the review section, and then you can watch it again. When do you have to pay? Whenever it says expire, like you got 2 weeks, right? So the class start at is that 25th or 26th? Yeah, it should expire today, unfortunately. Okay, I'm so sorry about that, but um so yeah, so we definitely gonna work on the mean and standard deviation of a tabular data, which is somewhat similar to what we have over here. Um, and then the STEM elite display will be on the exam as well. So I would put the notes. Um, yeah, so the question was very similar to what we have for the histogram. Yeah, this is the question. This is something similar to that. You need to find a midpoint and then find a mean and then compute a standard deviation. That's the hardest question. Okay, that's the hardest question. Okay. Um, Yeah, this class is very stressful, I understand, but like I said, it's a part of the course that we need to self-study. I would try to get you guys like not to read the screen long enough. You know, just simply work on the problem. If you did the problem before, you should be fine. Okay. All right, I'll see you hopefully by hopefully today at 5 p.m. Just remind me again, or by Thursday before the final, right? On Thursday. All right, have a wonderful day. Take care.